Hello dear reflectioners! Today we will review the Meike 35mm f/0.95. It's a real bokeh creator on a budget. But is all that? Let's find out on today's video. Our review will be divided in presentation and specs, usage, image quality, conclusion and our final score. You won't find appealing packages or fancy boxes here. We got this simple plain card box with the essentials. And to be true, who cares about it? We only saw it when buying and selling the lenses, so there is no harm in it. It's also another way to cut costs and offer you a better deal. This is a fully manual and multi-coated lens with a 52mm thread, a minimum focusing distance of 0.39 meters, 10 elements in 7 groups, and it weighs a considerable 380 grams, which gives a pleasant sensation of robustness when you grab it. Don't forget, it's all metal. The aperture control ring varies from f/0.95 up to f/16. All the data on the lens body is engraved. It has no lens hood, instead a protuberance before the lens. And a quite simple plastic hood. The price is quite low, at around 240 euros, a bargain. Who is this lens for? On an APS-C sensor with a focal length that goes around 50 millimeters depending on the crop factor of each brand, so it's still a very usable lens on the day-to-day basis. A modern content creator has a great tool to absorb and deliver great output, no matter whether you use it for stills or video. With a wonderful defocus and low-light capabilities, we think that the only lack of creativity, like ours, will be the limit, not the lens itself. Portraits, night scenes, and daily scenes can be easily separated from the background when possible. The first sensations are that the aperture control ring rotates quite smoothly and effortlessly, has no clicks and has many intermediate values. This is good for videography. You can surely feel how robust and well built this tool is. In our case, it weighs the same as the M50 of the tests, so it was a well-balanced combo on the hands. It has no electronic communication with the body, so if you want to get data on the EXIF like the aperture value, you won't. Still, you will maintain the shutter speed and the ISO values. We first had our reservations about using fully manual lens. Let's be honest, we only had one many years ago, rocking on, I think, 40mm for us too, and it was good. But using it on the DSLR was a pain, even more at night. Though in a mirrorless, we use it really straightforward, since you have many aids to focus. On the M50, the focus peaking highlights the sharpest zones that are in focus. We found it extremely easy to start using. In fact, we even dare to say that it's quite fun to use. The pace slows only a little compared to an AF lens. With batteries, we will find it much quicker than you think. During the focusing process, the front element of the lens moves internally, not to the exterior. The breath effect is quite low. The marks on the barrel are perfectly aligned, so no worries when you focus in the infinite. Like everything in life, you get what you pay for. Is this lens stellar and brilliantly sharp? Of course not. But wait, don't go yet. If you consider the price tag and the mechanics of it, well, in that case, you are close to the perfect bang for your buck. I checked many times during my tests, and I got to admit that it's surprised me in certain situations, like wide open, the vignette is very little, and around f2, f2.8, I almost couldn't find it. The sharpness, well, it depends much likely on the distance between you and your subject. Since you're in a mechanical or electronic way to avoid the differences in image quality during focusing on different distances, sometimes we have some inconsistencies in sharpness. At 0.95, the center of the image is very sharp. The corners, not so much. The diffraction is small and the chromatic aberration on contrasty scenes against the light source occurs again on the far corners. Personally, I don't find many problems because at that aperture you will only use it to focus your subject and get that bokeh. And by the way, this bokeh or bokeh, it's quite pleasant. Where's then the so-called sweet spot? Well, we have no doubt that the best combo is between f2 f2.8. On smaller aperture, it depends, like we said, on the distance of your subject, the light source, and how you are focusing. Curiously, before f8, we got a great corner sharpness. And what about our conclusions? Curiously enough, the Meike 35mm f0.95 bring out some real joy of shooting. The robust metal body, the smooth controls, and the effective wide aperture make it the usage quite pleasant. It doesn't matter if you shoot stills or video. The usage will be simple and effortless. Sharpness-wise, it's decently sharp from 0.95 to f2.8 and still usable around f11. But you don't want the 50-ish focal run to shot landscape, right? Portraits, products and mid-range shots are the perfect environment for it, stills or video-wise, all at that nice price point. The things we didn't like that much were the absence of electronic connectors, but we got it, and the hood lens, it's critical on flary situations because it doesn't work very well, and these sort of lenses are all the same. In the end, it remains a solid performance, still f2.8, easy of use and very cheap way of achieving shots that only could be done with lenses that are cost 5-6 more times. And trust me, the final images don't have 5 times more quality. Our final score is a solid 4.5. And dear friends, that is all for today. Have a great day and see you very soon. Thank you for being there.